It's also how he acts on headsets. There are also a few comparisons to Vince McMahon as well. But we're told that Tony Khan is worse? What?
It's a whole fucking show with Scampoli. Yeah, no, he did it.
Tyler, Tony Khan is worse than Vince McMahon. It's all coming out now. You know, Vince McMahon was a big piece of shit who ran a prison company, and everyone wanted to get out to go to AEW. Remember Ember Moon? Ember Moon was talking to Dustin Rhodes back when she was trapped in WWE, and she needed to be all elite. And now the tables have turned, Tyler. Now people are stuck in AEW. Malachi Black has 5 years left on his contract, but he wants to work with Triple H in charge over at WWE now. And in the words of Tony Khan, good luck with that.
What a weird fucking switch up that we just had. I mean, everyone fucking rushing as quick as they could over to AEW. Please get us out of this fucking slave camp of WWE. And now we're faced with Triple H's WWE. Why don't we all go back? It's fucking NXT, bro. We could just enjoy this kind of fucking lifestyle.
Ringside News is lighting the wrestling world on fire with this exclusive. Do we trust him, G-Spot, in the chat? Hugh G. Listen, do we trust Ringside News? He's that guy who gets drunk and gets racist. We love him, right? Yeah, we trust him. On the day when Donald Trump was raided by the FBI, we trust Ringside News. Look what Ringside News said. A source with direct knowledge of the situation told us that in the past month, oh my God, look at this, Tony Khan has become impossible to deal with. It's not just the communication issues with talent, Jonathan Gresham. It's also how he acts on headsets. What the fuck, Gino? Have you heard about this? Apparently, Tony Khan's Vince McMahon on the headset. Vince McMahon yelled at Renee Young before. He humiliated her.
And he's in my ear and goes, "You fucking ruined it!" Screaming at me. Do you hear me? Acknowledge that you hear me.
And she was ready to leave that day. Now Tony Khan does that.
I wanted to pull off my headset and just literally get in my car and drive home.
It's really wild to me how much control he really has over his product. Because I assume, like with Tony Khan, him wanting Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross, he shouldn't be the one wanting to tell them what to say. He would want their natural reactions. But no, he's wanting to control the two voices of his generation of wrestling. It's weird to me.
Whoa, you think he yelled at Tony Schiavone? Never. I think Tony Schiavone's like the Jerry Lawler. You know how Vince never yelled at Jerry Lawler? So I bet you Jim Ross gets screamed at by Tony Khan. I guarantee you Taz does. But Tony Schiavone's safe, right? Tony Schiavone just got that big promotion.
Oh, yeah, he was one of the few people that gets promotion. But yeah, Jim Ross, he gets yelled at. Taz probably gets yelled at quite a bit, especially because Taz does Dark Elevation, Dark, and like Rampage, and now Dynamite's like he gets yelled at so much. Excalibur, he realized, he's his boy. He doesn't want to yell at Excalibur as much as everyone else on the microphone.
Oh, no, Excalibur's the lapdog, right, Tyler? Excalibur's the one me and Tony Khan are yelling at the most in his headset, huh?
I'm really trying to picture Tony Khan screaming in his heads and screaming into people's headsets and what his voice is coming off like. Does every single time he says, "Let's fucking go," is that triggering for everyone backstage? Because that's what he's screaming into the headsets every single time. I can hear him saying it the exact same way.
Yeah, what Tony Khan do we get when he yells at someone? Is it 9 days from tonight?
9 days from tonight. You got time to get ready, man. 9 days from tonight. You have to wrestle in 9 days from tonight.
You're only doing the last hour of Dynamite 9 days from tonight. Jim Ross, you're not good enough to do the full 2 hours anymore. Or do we get the let's go Tony Khan? Who wants to be in the video game? You guys want a chance? He's got that crazy Tony Khan I wouldn't want yelling at me.
You will see the very best of AEW.
That one that comes out before the shows now. He's wild now, Tyler. That guy's aggressive.
I think that's the one that we are getting in that's screaming at us backstage. That's being really difficult to work with. It's this high energy Tony Khan that's such a fucking extreme dickhead.
Whoa, that Jonathan Gresham fight just got even crazier. Now I know why Jonathan Gresham wants to get released. Who knew he was even signed? So then we continue here with Ringside News. It's also how he acts on headsets. There are also a few comparisons to Vince McMahon as well. But we're told that Tony Khan is worse? What? Well, how is that possible? Gino, wasn't it weird that Vince McMahon was even mean on a headset? Didn't it seem uniquely him? Who's yelling at someone on a headset when they're trying to talk? Like the idea of talking to someone while they're talking. I guess all producers do that to hosts. Like even news shows are like that. But how could Tony Khan be worse already, Gino?
But Dewdrop,
I think it's because like Tony Khan has all this momentum. He feels like his show's better than the opposition. He feels like his show's doing great. Vince finally gone. He gets to be this 10-year executive, be in charge of all this, and he feels like he has this control over this company. And like what's weird is like, yeah, Vince McMahon, him yelling at the people in commentary. Like I've heard some like snippets that we're not supposed to hear, like of him and also of fucking Kevin Dunn and how bad Dunn is as well when he talks to the commentators and talks about how the show is being run. So like it's weird just thinking about like Tony Khan doing that and realizing that yeah, he would be worse because of.
Thank God. Discord just saved us, Tyler. I think it's the opposite. I think Tony Khan's worse because his show's not doing as good as he thinks it should be. Like we have Britt Baker talking. Do I have that up right here? Britt Baker was saying, look, we already have a great show with great leadership and great talent. Now we need more people to see it. If you go to people on the street, they know WWE. We need them to know AEW. There seems to be this frustration within the roster that, oh my God, it's only been 3 years, but it's been 3 whole years. Why aren't we the biggest thing ever? Why aren't we on the cover of TV Guide like WCW was? This story continues. Look, we have a quote. This is a quote from our source. Ringside News' source said, people who have worked in WWE say Tony Khan is much worse on headsets than Vince ever was. Oh my God. And his level of unprofessionalism rivals what it used to be like when Kevin Dunn would start yelling at people and mocking them on headsets, which we know he did to Jim Ross when Owen Hart died. You know, he kept saying, I wish that was you, should have been you. You're a fat idiot, you suck, you know. Kevin Dunn is as bad as Tony Khan is now, used to be. Tyler, this is shocking. And look at this. Ringside News were also told that Tony Khan was really going off during Death Before Dishonor on July 23rd. At this point, Tony Khan's behavior is becoming a huge issue within the company. I also heard, Tyler, that like a higher-up was going to quit, and Tony had to chase him down and promise he'd change. Could that be Jim Ross? And apparently all these recent promotions backstage, like Sanjay Dutt got a promotion. A bunch of weirdos got promotions. Tony Schiavone, Sanjay Dutt, they hired Madison Rayne. So apparently someone backstage was ready to get out of there. QT Marshall got a promotion. All the tools. They're easy to yell at people. That will take the punishment and not threaten to walk out. That means it must have been Jim Ross. He has a backbone, huh, Tyler?
It has to be Jim Ross or someone I feel like that is of a higher, more respectable stature in the company. But this is just such a crazy statement to see. I could definitely believe that it's just a scattered mess for Tony. He's being the biggest diva possible. I said this before. AEW is headed in a WWE direction. They're going towards sports entertainment. And now Tony Khan is trying to be as much like Vince as he can, but he's playing it up times 100. He's being way more fucking intense than he should be.
Oh, we know what Tony Khan they get in the headset. It's this fucking guy, that Tony Khan, dude.
This fucking guy, he fucking did the Friday Night War.
Also, who else would be a former WWE talent that would be able to compare headset communication between Vince and Tony Khan? It's Jim Ross. He's the source, too.
He did the first dance. He's done the record Double or Nothing. He did the record
This
All Out in his
fucking
debut.
guy.
He was a big part
This
of
guy.
a record Full Gear, a great match with Eddie Kingston, and fucking he wrestled a bunch of young guys, a bunch of veterans in between there. Will Hobbs, Daniel Garcia, goddammit. And then he showed
Daniel Garcia, goddammit.
up, did the biggest program in
You hear people laughing at him in the crowd. I never heard that before. Listen to that.
Daniel Garcia, goddammit. And then he showed up, did the
Little chuckles after Daniel Garcia, goddammit. The girls are laughing at him again. Don't trigger him. When girls laugh at Tony Khan, he gets even louder.
in between there, Will Hobbs, Daniel Garcia, goddammit. And then he showed up, did the biggest program in terms of everything, TV, box ever with MJF, and then he did the goddamn main event here. He's the biggest part of financial.
This is when we realize he's serious. We better not laugh. This is the world we're trapped in right now.
Success in the history of this company. Let's fucking go!
We gotta put.
Oh my God, Tyler. And then unrelated, we have the great Jack Evans speaking out. And we know Jack Evans doesn't work with AEW anymore, but he doesn't seem sour about it. He's not like Big Swole. He's not like Joey Janela out here on some anti-AEW media tour, but he let this leak, and this applies. Jack Evans said, I really liked it working with AEW. It was a great experience. Tony was a great boss. The only complaint I could ever make about Tony Sure is. For sure is. He's like the king of last minute mind changes. Wow, that's another Vince McMahonism. So he's mean on the headset, and he's rewriting Dynamite the day of twice.
I could see a lot of drugs playing a good part in this, especially with this clip that we just watched of Tony Khan. This is a coked out fucking man right here. I'm super fucking surprised that we're getting these statements from people and that we're getting complaints about Tony Khan, because I thought everyone would be so much fucking in love with him. And even for a minute, I was liking Tony Khan. I hated him to begin with, but he was making me chuckle. He was making me laugh a little bit, and now I can't stand him again.
Oh, it's great to laugh at from the outside. We're so lucky. We get to just laugh from a distance. But if you're under the billionaire's thumb and you want his teat, you want a little bit of his extra money, like you have to have him at your wedding, like Sammy Guevara, it must be a nightmare, Tyler. Have you seen Tony Khan at Sammy Guevara's wedding yet? This is great. Actually, this upsets me. This is so upsetting, J.S. Smith. Sammy Guevara used to be my friend, and then he left me for the billionaire. I've had the worst 3 years anyone's ever had. Living in a cave, basically. A dark cave with artificial light. Mold growing on the walls. It's worse than a cave in here. I wish it would flood and drown me, right? So meanwhile, look at this. Look at how much fun they're all having. These pieces. My arch nemesis all at once. All these people have me blocked on Twitter. Having the best life. Ricky Starks is in another clip. Dancing, having the best time. And here I am naked all day, every day. Walking around this place naked, trying to fall asleep so I don't have to be alive. Hallelujah. And right... Hallelujah. How perfect was that? And that's why you hang out with Tony Khan, that watch right there. I don't have one. I don't get a watch, not until I'm fired. Look at this. Hallelujah. Every day. It's every day, bro. These guys have the best day every day, dude. I hate this company now. My toilets are all broken. My showers don't work. Every sink in this place, whether it's a kitchen or a bathroom, has a caved-in floor under it. Everything leaks and floods. Not for Sammy. Hallelujah. I don't even own a suit. You know how many suits these guys must have? Those aren't rented suits. They own those suits. Hallelujah.
They think they got the best of me, but no, they motherfucking didn't. They think they got the best of me, but they didn't. No. They think they got the best of me, but they didn't. No. It's a whole fucking show with Scampoli. Yeah, no he didn't. It's a whole fucking show with Scampoli. No, he didn't. Know what to sing there.